Hi, my name is Simon, also known as Zumikito. This is Correct's White Spray, and I have no idea how I'm gonna get this off. You fool! It's Halloween, and I decided to do something special. And since I'm collecting Gloomspite Gitz Army, and they are based on mushrooms and all that stuff, I decided to get this giant mushroom tip. Mushroom tip, get it? And what I'm gonna do with this giant, huge, big mushroom tip is that I'm gonna convert it into some terrain piece. And if you are wondering where this is from, this is actually from IKEA. I don't know if you can see this on camera. And the thing about this mushroom is that it is not a decoration necessarily. It can be, but it's a light and you can turn it on, but you cannot see it right now because the room is very well lit. But anyway, as I said, I'm gonna convert this into Gloomspite Gitz Terrain. Gonna make it a little bit scary, spooky, and there's gonna be a face on this mushroom about right here. Now, as it is right now, it is not perfect. There are some like mold lines, if you can even call it mold lines. Let me turn on this camera real quick. Yeah, so basically you can see that there is some imperfection, some recess, and we are gonna fix that, and we are gonna use Milliput. If you are not familiar with Milliput, it's basically two-part green stuff. It's very similar to green stuff, but maybe Milliput is a little bit more durable, and also you can work with it a little bit better. So what you want to do right now is take a little bit of both of these pieces and basically mix them together. Now, unfortunately, I don't know where this video is gonna go. I have no direction for it. I'm gonna answer some of the questions that you guys send me and that you are leaving in the comment sections. But I'm gonna do that a little bit later. For now, let me work this Milliput. I'm gonna definitely need a little bit more for this and just mix it. Whatever tools you can get, whatever tools you need, you can use them. Now, you don't necessarily need something like this, but perhaps using something like this is way more appropriate. Take the hammer and smash that shit. Ano, já točím. But yeah, pretty much just mix it until you have one solid color on this little piece of Milliput. At this point, I think that this is gonna be the worst video that I have ever made, but we'll see. Okay, so I think that this is pretty good, so let's take our giant mushroom tip and start working. Alright, so as I said, there are some questions that you are leaving in the comment section, and now I am gonna try to answer them. The question number one: what brushes do you use? Okay, so this is a question that comes a lot, and honestly, I'm surprised that you guys are still asking that, because I mentioned that in like every older video that I create. And basically, the brand that I use the most is DaVinci Maestro. And I don't really know if there is some series or whatever, but it's DaVinci, it's called Maestro. There is probably some number attached to the brush, but I don't really know. There is gonna be a picture of that on the screen right now. Now, I have recently also bought a Winsor & Newton Series 7 brush, and I haven't tried it yet, so we'll see how that goes. Okay, so the thing with Milliput is that you should use a little bit of water and, for example, these silicone brushes, and basically just spread that along this recess. Okay, so I think that it is time for yet another question. And let's see what we got here. What paint ranges would you recommend for wet blending? Now, many people online say that Citadel paints are not really ideal for wet blending for some reason. I don't necessarily know why. Maybe there is not enough flow improver or the medium is not really ideal. But for example, I have found that Citadel base paints are really great. If you're gonna use Milliput, definitely use water. As you can see, it spreads very nicely with these brushes, these gum or silicone brushes, and with a little bit of water. And for the other kind of non-metallic metal, how should I choose the colors? Alright, so when doing non-metallic metal, I have always struggled to pick appropriate paints for it. And unfortunately, I cannot really recommend any specific paints for painting copper or gold non-metallic metal. Or I can, you know, I even have videos for that. Those videos basically used recipes of other painters. So the recommendation for that would be follow other painters and basically copy their paint recipes for other kinds of non-metallic metal. Now for steel, I really like the recipe using dark sea blue from Vallejo and just any white. And we can also see that the surface of this mushroom is very even and kind of smooth. I mean, it's textured, but otherwise it's really smooth. So hopefully this is gonna add some more interesting curves to this mushroom. Of course, I'm not sure, maybe it's gonna look really bad, but we'll see. Oh look, another YouTuber who yells that strangely 70% viewers aren't subscribers, like in the 3 previous videos from total different YouTubers. How odd is that it is always the same number? And for bringing that you get a dislike from me. Okay, so first of all, I always go to the analytics before I start editing the video and I take a screenshot there, so I have no clue why other YouTubers have 70% as well. And the second thing is, that's not a question. Why is it even here? Oh, right. By the way, I can see that just a fraction of my viewers are subscribed, so go ahead and subscribe. It's free, and you can always change your mind and unsubscribe later if you want. Yeah, I'm a real noob with Milliput. If you're asking why I am not using green stuff instead, well, it's because this is way cheaper and you get way more stuff. So right now, I know that this little piece is not gonna last me very long. Very cool. Will you paint busts more often? I'm gonna paint one more bust this year, but after that I'm gonna take a break, and maybe next year we'll see what happens. If you don't mind, guys, I'm gonna take this off. At least you can now see my awesome hair. I look like a freaking hermit. How did you paint the eyes / face? Alright, so for the face I just basically focus really hard. I even have video for painting faces, but you know, in this case, in the Sister of Battle case, I have done something a little bit different, and that is that I have basically painted cyan at the center of white, and then what I did is that I have separated the pure cyan with a little bit of black and painted it over the transition between the white and the cyan. Hopefully you can understand me. I don't know how to describe it better. I think that I'm gonna do a video on painting faces this year, so you can look forward to that. Of course, I mean that I'm gonna make a video explained under 5 minutes for painting faces, because I already have one video for painting faces. How did you paint the cable? So that black and yellow pattern on the cable, I think it's called hazard stripes, right? For that, I first painted the whole cable with yellow, and then I carefully added black stripes really carefully, and if I made a mistake along the way, I basically just picked yellow again and fixed it. I don't really know how to give you better explanation or description, but basically you have to be careful and make sure that the distance between each stripe is approximately similar. Definitely would like to see how you did the base. That's a command for my painting squig in a 19 minutes video. That is basically a time-lapse video, and I didn't include painting the base in the time-lapse. And that is because I use Vallejo texture paint, and it basically dries for quite some time. I think you need to leave it for 15 or 20 minutes or even more. So I did that off screen and I'm gonna describe it right now. So you take Vallejo texture paint and spread it on the base, and I cover the texture paint with multiple green paints plus one gray, and I wet blend all of these, and I even pick out some of the peaks on the base with that gray. I mainly aim for this magical feel for the base, so I add mushroom, leaves, to make it look like magical forest. That's it for all of the questions. If you do have any questions, you can always leave them down in the comment section. As always, I go through them and answer every single one of them. But this is still not the end of the video. As you can see, the mushroom is still not finished yet. So I'm gonna turn off the camera and finish this off screen. Alright, so this is what we got right now, and it's still unfinished because I want a spooky face right here on this space right here, and unfortunately I am unable to get precise spooky face that you would carve into a pumpkin, so I will need a help for that. And for this help I'm gonna call a good friend of mine. Okay, so I'm back, and unfortunately my friend didn't want to be on camera, but it was my brother. And what he managed to do is that he sketched out this face that you can see right here. And now before I spray the mushroom, I will take Milliput and go around the face and basically this area right here where his mouth and eyes are will be left blank. And I will even mask this space before I spray it, so it will be still white. Okay, so let's do this. So now I'm finally finished with this spooky face that I would even carve into a pumpkin. And now we are gonna spray this big bad boy and then we are gonna paint it. And now for the big reveal. Oh yeah, that's nice. Alright friends, so this is it for the video. Of course, if you have any questions whatsoever, leave them down in the comment section. If you find my content helpful or entertaining, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. And definitely, if you want to help others get better at painting miniatures, give this video a thumbs up so that way YouTube will know that it should take this video and recommend it to others. And see you in the next one. Bye.